But this is one of the matches we've been waiting for. That's the great thing about this format. We're going to see. We've seen in this format a lot of highly ranked wrestlers going at it. Nobody ducking and forfeiting or whatever. Not much of that anyway. And
this was a 2-0 win for Nelson back in the dual meet, which was a complete opposite of what happened last year in the dual meet, where Galagayev came out and just crushed Nelson.
Yeah.
What a difference a year makes.
Well, the confidence level that Tony Nelson is wrestling with is high, much different than wrestling his sophomore year. And there you see it right there. He didn't get caught pushing into Galagayev, and what he does such a great job is he catches you leaning into him. He's able to hit that little slide-by attempt. If he doesn't hit it, he's into a leg lace. He's got a nice little foot sweep action, which you saw a little bit of right there. The only thing about Galagayev that I've seen is just sometimes you have the antics at the end of at the edge of the mat, where he's been a little bit more physical, and that happens. And both he and Don Bradley, who he beat earlier, kind of got into it a little bit. Both of them received match
unsportsmanlike conducts, yes,
which were both good calls. So
under a minute gone by here in period number 1, the heavyweight Galagayev, Oklahoma State. Nelson, the defending national champion, Minnesota. Again, they did meet once previously, and that was a victory for Nelson right next door at the Sports Pavilion. Galagayev was on a roll last year before getting injured right before the national duels. And they had to pull Austin Marsden out of red shirt, and he ends up qualifying for nationals. Makes the junior world team also as well. So another good heavyweight waiting in the wings. Galagayev, an All-American at 197. Moscow, Russia. Gives that different European feel, Jim, and having wrestled international styles, that when you wrestle European wrestling, they just feel differently. They move differently.
Well, they move efficiently, and it's
probably a better way to put it.
They focus their system based on movement, which I think is a good way to go about it. Movement first, then stability, then endurance. Okay, where we're probably the opposite, where we focus on endurance and then stability, and then we'll think about movement after the fact. But if you really take a look at what they do, I mean, what I've been impressed about Galagayev is how quickly he's picked up on the down position wrestling. And we're going to get a glimpse of that right here. Is that that's not easy to learn if you haven't been brought up in it, and speaks a lot to Coach Smith's system there in the down position and what he tries to focus on and getting his athletes competitive. And they do a lot of drilling in Stillwater.
No pun intended, right? 5 seconds to go here in the period. And that'll end the period. Scoreless, Galagayev's choice. And you allude to the riding. When he came on the scene at 197, he was killing people with his foot sweeps and big inside and outside trips. But once he got to an opponent who knew how to ride, a guy like Eric Lopotsky a couple years ago, he rode him for almost 5.5 minutes. So
yeah, this will be a great challenge right here. But he was able to pop up to his feet, keeps his wrist clean. Nelson has done a nice job, as he does against all of his opponents, in stopping that first move. All right, he gets way up high and makes his opponent really carry him with his upper body. So Galagayev is doing a nice job of coming back up, keeping his knees up underneath him, not collapsing.
Yeah, and this was what happened the last time they wrestled. It was a riding time point and an escape for Nelson. That was the difference. It was 2-0.
Yeah.
Nelson still on top, 37 seconds of riding time, 1:22 to go in period 2.
They're coaching him to go ahead and do a little cross arm action right now. We'll see if that does a little bit better job of clearing his hips. Come up and reach over. Yeah, so he didn't quite get crossed over, but he brought his hands together, and he's looking to come up, and he can't do that with Nelson up as high as he is.
A lot of forward pressure here.
Now, the danger is that Galagayev is trying to officiate the match instead of just go ahead and create the activity and wrestle. And Nelson takes advantage of that movement there, collapses onto a near wrist, and he's in business.
And flattens out Galagayev, still scoreless on the scoreboard, but riding time up over 1 minute and 13 seconds now. 45 seconds remaining in period number 2. Nelson, Cambridge Isani High School, Cambridge, Minnesota, about an hour north of here, up 169. I couldn't give you directions to Galagayev's house, though.
Yeah. Inside wrist movement there. Again, the referee allowing Nelson to pretty much stay parallel. This was a lighter weight match. Somebody would probably be warned for stalling, but now
Nelson
he comes up
with
to
a
a half
half.
Nelson.
Oh!
That's it.
Oh, my goodness. And Minnesota dominated this match top to bottom, but that is the exclamation point.
Well,
Tony Nelson runs the half, gets the fall, and what a way to win a National Dual Meet Championship, Jim.
well, you can pin a guy from a parallel ride and you drop a half on him like that, come over the top, and that really, like you said, Jason, puts an exclamation point on this win.
Everything went Minnesota's way, save 3 matches in the middle. Williams Arena on its feet. A great way for wrestling fans here to cap off the weekend, Jim, and top to bottom, start to finish, from the regionals to the quarters yesterday, the semis and the finals. Not all the matches were close, but they were definitely exciting from a wrestling standpoint.